everyone! I'm sure you're wondering where I am as well as why I'm not at Golden Leaf Stables. In order to explain everything, I need to start at the beginning of the last 2 very hectic weeks. This whole mess started when I was called into the tack room by the barn owner. Once we were alone in the room, she quickly explained that the stables no longer belonged to her. She said not to worry about the horses and that they were being brought to a rescue center. After refusing to tell me anything else, she said I had the rest of the day to pack up my things, but that was it. I admit I'm not exactly proud of my reaction, but I ran out of the room sobbing. I left the stable as quickly as I could and went to go cry behind a building. It hit me that I no longer had a job. I'd never get to see all the horses I cared about ever again. Just then, as if she knew I needed her, I got a call from my best friend, Lola. Before she could say anything, I told her what was going on. Meet me at the cafe. It was simple enough, but I knew she could only mean one place, the local cafe nearby in Cape West. I immediately rushed over to meet her. So you know how I've been looking for an equestrian property to buy recently? Yeah? I found one. It's in Fir Grove. I only have one more document to sign and the place is mine. But I don't know if I'm ready to manage a whole ranch by myself. I didn't want to make you leave the job you love at Golden Hills, but you've always talked about owning your own stables, rescuing horses, taking boarders, and now... Are you saying you want me to co-own an equestrian center with you? Yeah, look, you don't have to. It just seemed like the timing was perfect and the universe wanted me to. It's silly. No, it's not. I'll do it. After I shed a few more tears, Lola and I went back to Golden Hills to get all my stuff. I was able to get the number of the rescue center where the horses were going from another trainer. I had one more thing to do before leaving forever. Hi, I'm from Golden Leaf Stables. I was wondering if there was any way I could visit the horses once they're at your center. Are you sure? I really shouldn't. It'd be too overwhelming with my new center. I can't take in a horse. But I'll take Chai. And that's how I ended up here. Lola and I are sharing the house that came with the place. It's not huge, but it's more than enough for the 2 of us. Chai seems to like the new place, and I do too. The future of Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center looks bright. Just trust me, okay? It was found in an abandoned stable deep in the Forgotten Fields. Chai was found near the stable, in pain and terrified. I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 hurt horses were found there. It was evident the moment I stepped in that no one had been here in a long time. At the same time, it seemed like someone had just left. The place was abandoned, and whoever had been here before didn't even have time to take their things before leaving. Most everything was normal, what you'd expect to see in someone's home. I thought the trip had been a bust, until I started looking through some of the folders lying in a pile on the ground. And what did I find? A picture of my beloved Chai. I'm not an investigator, but even if I had been, I would have done the same thing I did then. Run away. The truth is, I just didn't want to believe that Chai had been living in the same conditions that horse had been. The police are now looking into it, and they'll let me know if they find anything about the horse abuser behind Chai and the horse from a few weeks ago. So that's Chai's origin story. Thinking about how if he hadn't escaped that day, we happened to be in the Forgotten Fields is honestly terrifying, because he might not be here today. Chai has changed my life for the better since we found him, and I can't imagine ever letting go of him. That's brought me to the decision to make him my own personal project horse. I haven't had a personal horse in a while, and I honestly don't even know why. I didn't want to make this too long because, as you all know, I did recently become co-owner of the Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center, and that's kept me super busy. However, I did end up recording Chai and I's first ride, as it was such a big moment for us. Don't get your hopes up, it wasn't anything special, but here are some highlights from that. come with me to shop for a new personal horse. For context, I was looking for a gelding experienced in hunter jumping around 10 years old. The first horse I tried out was Duncan, an English thoroughbred from Moorland Stables. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to jump him, and what I noticed most about him was his less than acceptable ground manners. He did seem pretty skittish too, and at one point he did get a bit spooked because of a fly that flew by. Overall, Duncan was an alright horse. It's not like I had a bad experience, but I just wasn't impressed. A couple days later, I headed to Silverglade Meadows Stables to see Snickers, a Belgian warmblood. Although he did seem pretty excitable, Snickers was just so elegant in everything he did. He was an amazing jumper, and I could easily see him competing and doing well in hunter jumping events. Lastly, the next day I tried out Marzipan, who was staying at the Jorvik Equestrian Center during their annual festival. I didn't get to jump him, sadly, as the arena I was going to jump him in was busy. I also didn't do too much recording with him since the place was so crowded for the festival. What I immediately noticed about Marzipan was that he was very calm, very collected, and nothing seemed to faze him. From what I got to see, I was really impressed with his performance, and with his previous experience in competitions already, I know he'd make a great horse. Let me know which horse caught your eye. Hi everyone! Before I announce the horse I ended up buying, I do want to quickly thank you guys for all the love on my last video. I really didn't expect so many people to see it, and I'm so glad you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Now with that out of the way, I'll finally let you guys in on the hard decision I've had to make these last few days. Seeing your guys' comments was super helpful, and they were very much split between Snickers and Marzipan, which were definitely my favorites too. Every time I thought I had chosen one over the other, I immediately felt like I was missing out on an amazing horse. Lola, my co-owner here at Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center, mentioned we were in need of more horses for our advanced students, which gave me an idea. So that's how I ended up with both Snickers and Marzipan. I decided Marzipan would be my personal horse, while Snickers would be an amazing horse for the students to work with. I didn't want to make this video too long, as it's just meant to be a reveal, but I will definitely post more of each of these amazing geldings soon. I hope you guys are just as thrilled about these new additions as I am. Good morning, everyone. It is a foggy spring morning here at Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center, and I have a really busy day ahead of me, so I figured I'd vlog it and have it be like a spring cleaning and also barn routine kind of vlog. It's already 7 a.m., so let's get started. Raven, Snickers, and Thunder had all been turned out the previous night, so they got to come back in for their morning feed along with the rest of the horses. Most horses just get hay, but some do get extra supplements or vitamins, like Thunder, who requires joint supplements due to his age. I just finished feeding all the horses, and now I have the not so fun part of managing an equestrian center to take care of, which is scheduling vaccines and checkups for everyone now that it's spring. Afterwards, I need to work on cleaning tack, so I'll check back in with you guys then. As I was cleaning tack outside, Lola was finally ready to join me in barn chores, so I got to finish up with that early and go turn out Peach and Febreze. I also mucked out the stalls and added more of the pine shavings and pellets we use. I have a beginner lesson in about 20 minutes, so I need to tack up Thunder and take him out to the paddock. I'm all done with the lesson, so I'm gonna go on a little ride with Chai. I think all the horses are turned out right now because it's like really nice. And Chai is eyeing Peach over there, so we're gonna head over. I think they're best friends. They're always near each other if they're out at the pasture at the same time. They're so cute. So it's evening now, and I kind of forgot to record, but it's okay because nothing super interesting happened. I did have another lesson earlier, and I did some organizing in our storage rooms, but that's about it. Lola and I need to bring some horses back inside from the pasture and turn others out for the night, but first we need to feed everyone. Lola got here a little late this morning since she slept in, so she gets to muck all the stalls for me and sweep before locking up for the night. But that's it it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this spring barn routine. Bye! Meet Faith, a horse who was found abandoned and covered in bruises with a fractured leg. I was made aware of her existence when a friend of mine who rescues horses called me with the news that they had found an Andalusian in terrible condition, abandoned by the remains of an old stable deep in the hollow woods. They asked if I would mind keeping her at Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center, as the rescue ranch they usually passed on horses to was full. I agreed, and the new horse was quickly brought over. I'll never forget how terrified she looked. However, she still had faith in us humans that we would help her, and she was willing to be brought into the stable and allow a vet to look at her, even though she'd undoubtedly faced severe trauma due to humans in the past. That's how she got her name, Faith. She believed in us, trusted us, and now we need to show her not all humans are bad. I don't know how long she'll be staying here, but she definitely needs to stay on stall rest for a while as she heals. So, this is a sign to you to give your horse a hug and appreciate the faith they put in you and return it back to them. Hello everyone! I have a hunter jumping show with Marzipan in a couple of days, so I figured I'd share my show routine with you guys. I do want to mention that over the last couple months, Marzipan's diet has been a little bit different than usual in preparation for this event, with one of the changes being the addition of black oil sunflower seeds, which add an extra shine to his coat. Now, on to the actual routine. It's currently 2 days before the event, so I'm going to clean the tack I plan on taking. First though, I need to double check that it fits as it should, just to be safe. Later that day, I polished up the boots I was going to wear to the event, as well as picked up my clothes from the dry cleaning place. It is now 1 day before the event, and I definitely have a lot to do today. I'm going to start with loading everything up into the trailer, including a backup grooming kit, first aid kit, and paperwork. I'm here with Marzipan, which means it's time for his pre-show bath, as he is a rather dirty boy. I'm sure most of you know who Lola is by now, so I don't think she needs an introduction. She's going to be coming with me to the show, so she decided to also accompany me to Fir Grove to grab some horse treats, as well as my traditional pre-show stable bucks. It is now the day of the event. Luckily, I don't have very much to do this morning, which is good, and I can get to the competition early. The very last thing I have to do now is get Marzipan ready. I didn't end up recording any sort of outro due to how busy I was making sure everything was in the trailer and ready, but let me know if you guys are interested in a show vlog. Bye! Hi everyone! If you saw my last little vlog, then you probably know what this one is going to be about. I'm here at the Silverglade Equestrian Center for a hunter derby, which I don't think I actually mentioned in my prep vlog. This is Marzipan and I's first show together, and I'm trying not to have super high expectations, but that's easier said than done. Moving on, the ring is currently open, so I'm going to head in and give Marzipan a chance to take a look around, as well as stretch his legs after the long trailer ride here. The first round wasn't too difficult and Marzipan behaved very well. We flew gracefully over the fences while he remained elegant and calm, which led to us scoring an 87 in this round. This landed us in first place and allowed us to come back for the handy round. Marzipan has competed in these kinds of shows before, as have I, so although I was pleased, I wasn't surprised. The second round, or the handy round, was more complex. We went first as we got the highest score, which was definitely a lot of pressure. I will admit my nerves got the better of me and we were definitely a bit wobbly towards a couple of jumps. However, Marzipan stayed at a steady pace and jumped well. We scored an 84, which put us in third place, only 1 point behind whoever got second. So, the derby ended and I'm happy to announce I got second place. For our first competition together, I'd say Marzipan and I did excellently. I'm a little annoyed with myself for getting so nervous during the handy round, but it happens to the best of us. I can't wait to compete in more shows with my best boy in the future. Hi everyone! So around 4 weeks ago, a horse named Faith was brought to Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center to heal from her many injuries, with the worst being a fractured leg. I would recommend going back and watching that video if you haven't, but if you have, then you may be wondering how she's doing. Faith is slowly beginning to warm up to me and the other people that interact with her throughout the day, and she no longer cowers in her stall when we enter the barn in the morning. Instead, her ears perk up and she seems more curious than anything. Of course, Faith will need more time for her leg to heal, and the vet visits frequently to make sure everything is healing as it should. There's still a long way to go in Faith's recovery journey, so stay tuned. Also, let me know what kinds of videos you guys want to see from me. Hello everyone! With summer finally here in Jorvik, many tourists and locals have become interested in taking up horse riding lessons, so Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center is busier than ever. As a result, we've been needing more lesson horses, so I'd like to introduce you guys to Dove and Ace. Here's some footage from a couple weeks ago when I brought them home. I'm here in Fir Grove right now for a horse auction, and I'm hoping to bring home at least 2 horses. The actual auction hasn't started yet, so I have time to look around and decide who to bid on ahead of time. This Pinto Irish Cob gelding looks like such a sweetheart, and I think he'd love it at Tulip Meadows. This Shire gelding caught my attention, and he is such a handsome horse. I feel like I'm kind of going for drafts today, but we don't have any at the stable right now, and it would be really nice to have more horses with sweet, gentle personalities, so it's okay. I found this stunning dapple gray mare, and something inside of me is telling me to bid on her, so I think I will. Then it was time to bid. Unfortunately, I was outbid for the Shire gelding, but it was okay since I was the highest bidder for the 2 other horses I was interested in. After all the paperwork had been filled out and payments had been made, it was time to load up the horses in the trailers I had brought and take them to their new home. From what I've been able to gather about Dove and Ace's personalities over the last couple weeks, Dove is definitely pretty curious and spunky. She also seems very eager to receive attention from anyone who walks by her stall. Ace is much more relaxed and gentle, as well as cautious, which I think will make him the perfect horse for new or nervous riders. I had a wonderful experience at the Fir Grove horse auction and would recommend that you guys check them out when looking for a horse. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next vlog. Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be attending a beginner dressage class with Snickers. The main reason he was added to the array of lesson and lease horses we have here at Tulip Meadows was to be a show jumper, but Snickers also seems to have the potential to be a talented dressage horse. He has the patience and movement for it, and after working with him, he also seems to enjoy it. So for the purpose of building up his experience and seeing how he does in the ring, we will be participating in a class together. Now it's time to get into the trailer and be on our way. As I said, the class was only a beginner one, so I wasn't too worried about the outcome. I think it was obvious to the judges that both Snickers and I were new to it all and didn't have that same level of trust, which leads to grace and confidence that many of the other riders had. Overall though, we did rather well considering our circumstances. The class is over, and I'm back at Tulip Meadows now. We ended up getting 4th, which I think is pretty good, considering how much time we worked together before the class. If I had spent more time with Snickers and more time practicing in general, we definitely would have done better. But I co-own an equestrian center, so I didn't really have too much spare time on my hands. Snickers has a lot of potential though, and with the help of someone willing to bond and work hard with him, I know he could achieve great things in the world of dressage. I also want to mention that if you want to take a look at my profile right next to the follow button, you might find something exciting, so go take a look. I'll see you in my next vlog. Hello everyone! Today I have some extremely exciting news to share involving Dove, a 4-year-old Arabian mare who's new to Tulip Meadows. But before I get ahead of myself, I'll start at the beginning. A few days after Dove was brought home from the Fur Grove horse auction, the vet came to check and make sure she was healthy. While doing a rectal examination on Dove, the vet began to suspect that something was off. She said she wanted to do an ultrasound, which I agreed to. I figured it was highly unlikely Dove was pregnant, but if the vet wanted to perform an ultrasound before anything else, that was fine with me. You probably know where this is going now. Yep, we found out that Dove was around 4 months pregnant. I was shocked, to say the least, but also excited. I'm trying not to keep my hopes up too high, but it's hard not to be thrilled at the idea of having an adorable foal at Tulip Meadows. I'll keep you guys updated as Dove's pregnancy progresses. I would also suggest you stay updated on the progress of my channel, which currently has 1 video up and many more to come. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hello everyone! I feel like it's been so long since I did an actual morning routine, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. When I woke up and saw it was raining, I considered waiting until tomorrow to film, but you know what? This will just make today's routine more unique. I already changed, but before heading to Tulip Meadows, I want to introduce you guys to someone. This is Maple, a terrier puppy I recently adopted from a local shelter. She's a little shy around the camera, but she's been coming with me to Tulip Meadows lately, so she'll be coming with us today. Ace, Raven, and Febreze are currently turned out right now, but according to the weather app on my phone, there may be a thunderstorm in a little bit, so I'm gonna bring them inside. After bringing the horses back in, I mixed food for everyone and refilled their hay nuts. As for horses that need anything extra, Faith takes medications to help her recovery journey, and Thunder gets his usual joint supplements, but that's about it. It just started thundering, and luckily all the horses are inside. They're definitely a little perturbed by the weather. Hopefully it'll just go back to rain soon. A little while later, there was an extremely loud boom of thunder. Shai got really spooked and kicked open his stall door while I was in the tack room cleaning. By the time I headed over to see what was making so much noise, he was running around wildly. Luckily, I was able to calm down Shai and return him to his stall relatively quickly. It finally stopped thundering, and now it's just drizzling. Shai seems pretty fidgety in his stall, so I'm gonna take him on a light ride since that usually calms him down. Lola just got here anyway, so she can turn out some of the horses while we're out. And there is my rainy day morning routine. As always, this is your reminder to check out my channel right next to the follow button for more Star Stable but not RRP related content. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye! Hello, Jorvik. This is Jamie Rosebud here with your local news. I'm here in Fir Grove to issue a public safety announcement regarding the wolves that have been spotted roaming the Fir Grove area. These wolves are extremely dangerous and will attack if you get too close. Here to speak on the matter is Jasmine Whalecake, owner of Tulip Meadows Equestrian Center and resident of Fir Grove. Thank you, Lily, for giving me the opportunity to spread awareness about these savage beasts. This time of year in this lovely part of Jorvik, more wolves are typically present due to mating and travel patterns. However, this year, the wolves have become much more abundant and aggressive. Just this morning, I was on a ride with my horse Marzipan when we accidentally stumbled onto a couple of wolves' territory. We outran them and made it back to Tulip Meadows safely, but not all riders and horses may be so lucky. Thank you, Jasmine. We would recommend keeping your horses in closed pastures as opposed to open ones, as well as avoiding entering the Fir Grove woods. When heading out, even if you plan on sticking to the paths, always carry beast repellent. Stay safe out there. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hello everyone! Today is day 1 of a 3-day invitational show I am partaking in. I decided to split this into 3 separate videos, one for each discipline, so more parts will be coming soon. The first day is dedicated to dressage, so I decided to bring Snickers, who is apparently my designated dressage horse now. The dressage portion of this event is taking place at the Baroness's Riding Center for Excellent Riders, and speaking of the Baroness, thank you so much to her for hosting this event as well as inviting me to it. I'm already here at the Riding Center, so I need to get Snickers ready. It's nearly our turn to perform. Wish us luck. Next up is Jasmine Whale Cake on Snickers. I won't lie, I was super nervous. The Baroness has been my riding idol for a long time, and competing at her invitational, especially in a discipline I'm not the most experienced in, was a lot of pressure. I had almost considered declining her invite, but I knew I'd regret not knowing what could have been. Just like the last dressage class we entered, this was only a novice one. However, we did a lot of schooling in preparation for this class, and it all paid off as we ended up placing first. Tomorrow is cross country day with Dove, which I can't wait for. Stay tuned to see how that goes. Hello everyone! If you saw my last video, then you'll know that today is day 2 of the Baroness's Invitational Show. I'm here with Dove in Fir Grove to participate in today's round of the show, which is cross country. For those of you wondering, Dove was approved by our trusted vet to compete despite her pregnancy, so this is entirely safe. We're all tacked up, but there's still some time before the show begins, so Dove and I are going to go take a look around the course. And next to make their way through the course is Jasmine Whale Cake on Dove. That's our cue. Dove did so well, and not the big favorites or anything, but she's definitely one of my favorite mares at Tulip Meadows. She must have worked on cross country with her previous owner, as she really was a natural during our schooling. Guess who just got second in her first ever cross-country show with me? If you guessed anyone other than Dove, maybe you should go rewatch this video. Ever since finding out that she was pregnant, I've been pretty protective over Dove, but I think this was a good reminder that she's still a sturdy mare that doesn't need me watching over her 24/7 in order to be strong and healthy. Building up a horse's experience is truly one of my favorite parts of integrating horses into my stables lesson program, so seeing them succeed is so gratifying. Anyways, stay tuned for the last part of this invitational where I will be taking Marzipan to compete in the show jumping round. Hello everyone! Today I have a bit of a sad announcement to make regarding a horse leaving Tulip Meadows. For the last few weeks, Thunder has been showing discomfort being tacked up and ridden, and he's just gotten a lot slower overall. This has led us to the decision of sending him to the retired horse sanctuary of Jorvik, where he can happily live out the rest of his days in peace and comfort. Thunder was always so patient to all he carried on his back, and he'll be missed deeply by everyone at Tulip Meadows. However, we must always do whatever's in the best interest of a horse. The trailer arriving to take Thunder to his new home should be here any minute, so it's time to take him outside and say our final goodbyes. Hello everyone! Today is the final day of the Baroness's 3-day invitational, and I'm here with Marzipan to participate in this show jumping round. This stage of the show is being held at Moorland Stables, which is actually where I started riding, so being back here is a little bit nostalgic for me. I really want this invitational to end on a positive note, so here's hoping I do well. Jasmine, Whalecake, and Marzipan, please make your way to the ring. Marzipan is used to hunter jumping as opposed to show jumping, so this was definitely different for us. It's pretty rare for a horse to excel at both disciplines, as they're each judged very differently, but I wanted to give Marzipan a chance to try both in professional settings. I think the change in what we focused on while jumping threw off Marzipan a bit, but he still tried his best. We scored 4th in this round, which, although not bad, means Marzipan will probably be sticking with hunter jumping. Throughout the entire invitational, I scored 1st, 2nd, and 4th with various horses. I'm super grateful that I got the opportunity to attend this invitational, and I hope you all have a fantastic day or night. Bye! Hello everyone! Today I want to introduce you guys to a project horse I've been so kindly gifted by Moorland Stables. This is Callisto. She is a 7-year-old American paint horse. While catching up with an old friend from Moorland Stables, who is now a trainer, I was offered the opportunity to train this promising young mare in exchange for the ability to buy her later if I so choose. I accepted, which is why you're seeing this video now. It's been a couple of days since Callisto first arrived here at Tulip Meadows, and I figured I'd vlog our first training session together. She's turned out right now, so let's go see her. Oh man, this is what happens when you walk around with a camera and don't pay attention to where you're stepping. You step in horse poop. Say hi, Callisto. I think we're gonna start out with some basic lunging. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but she isn't entirely green. She just has some behavioral problems that need to be worked out, as well as more experience working with riders. While lunging Callisto, I definitely noticed how high energy and impatient she was. She didn't want to walk around and kept trying to speed up, but she proved to be a quick learner once I discovered how food motivated she was. Eventually, we had to call it quits as I could tell Callisto was starting to get really tired of the exercise. I took Callisto out to our giant meadow as a little treat. I could see she was trying her best, she just isn't used to this kind of training. However, I'm sure with time and hard work, she'll prove to be just as obedient and determined as any other horse. I'll keep you all updated on her progress. Bye!